It's the holiday season, and if you're like most people, you've probably been indulging a little more than you would like. I say there's nothing wrong with enjoying the festivities and all the delicious food that comes with it, as long as you don't eat like this for the rest of the year, of course. But if you're wondering how to strike a balance without restricting yourself at your next holiday gathering, or if you are already thinking about your New Year's resolutions, I have 4 easy tips, all backed by science, that you can practice to help you avoid overeating. Tip number 1. Move the conversation away from the dinner table. Research has found that we eat more in the presence of other people. How much more? If we eat with one other person, our intake increases by 28%. 2 people, 41% increase. 3 to 4 people, 53% increase, and so on. And this number keeps going up for up to 12 people. But this effect is only seen when we eat with people that are familiar to us, like friends or families, rather than with strangers. And there are 2 main factors to explain this phenomenon. The first is we eat for longer in social situations without decreasing our rate of food intake, and this leads us to eat more than we normally would when we're by ourselves. Scientists call this the time extension hypothesis. The second reason is that we simply disinhibit our cognitive control because we are more relaxed in these social situations, which is why you would be more inclined to stuff your face at a casual dinner party with your best friends than, say, at a company dinner with your boss. Tip number 2. Use smaller cups and plates. We tend to underestimate the amount that we are eating and thus end up eating more when we're using larger dishes. This is because our brain tricks us into thinking that we are eating smaller portions when our eyes see more white space around the food. In one experiment, people who were given larger bowls ate 16% more cereal than those given smaller bowls, even though they estimated their intake was 7% less than those with smaller bowls. You can even try serving healthy dishes, such as vegetables, on larger plates, while serving less healthy foods like cake and ice cream in smaller dishware. Tip number 3. Break food into smaller pieces before serving. A study found that by simply splitting chocolate bars and cookies into smaller but more number of pieces, people ate less. When you have smaller pieces of food, you are tricking your brain into thinking that you're eating more than you actually are, and this is called a unit bias. Tip number 4. Be mindful of your choices. Now, this is kind of an all-encompassing tip. For example, try to limit the liquid calories by skipping the pop if you know that you will be drinking alcohol later. Or find a couple of foods that you enjoy the most and focus on eating those instead of having a little bit of everything, which will often lead to overeating. The key here is to satisfy your appetite and having a good time without overindulging. So there you have it, my 4 tips to avoid overeating this holiday season. Move the conversation away from the dinner table, use smaller plates and cups, break food into smaller pieces, and be mindful of your choices. Hope you found this useful. Please give this video a thumbs up if you did, and remember to subscribe for more nutrition bites for more healthy eating tips.